Hey, Mark here. I just want to give you a quick heads up. So we recorded this episode before the passing of Sean Connery in late October. So we just want to give you a quick heads up. You won't be hearing us talk about that in this episode. So I just want to let you know that we're not purposely ignoring it. We just recorded this episode before October 31st. Sean Connery was the best. We're huge fans of his. The movie landscape lost an amazing actor. But I hope you enjoy this episode of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Thanks. Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is Dr. David and Mr. Cross.
Which one's the evil one? It's the academic, right? The academics is totally evil.
We'll never know. Just going back and forth, you're not going to know which one is Dr. David or Mr. Cross. Well, thank you for joining me, David Cross.
Right now you're talking to Mr. Doctor? Oh my God, I already lost the thread.
I just thought of this. Since you're the host of the Award Wieners Movie Review podcast, and you just released an episode about The Apartment, well, it probably came out about a month ago. Excellent episode. Now, what would a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde hot dog look like?
Interesting. Well, I think it would be... All right, I have a weird one for you. Right off the top of my head. You have to get two different types of sausages and cut them down the length, I believe it is horizontally. So you have two thin strips, and then you have to put them together.
Whoa.
So you have two different types of sausages. Like for me... I would love like a white hot and then a normal hot dog, because then you get this like kind of weird, like you know what's happening because it's normal, but it's a little spicy on the other side. And then you would have to run one layer of ketchup, like the most common ingredient, on one side, and what's something that like you would not expect on the other side, like barbecue sauce, just like mustard and then barbecue sauce, and that's probably. I mean, I think I got a good one. That's probably your League of Extraordinary Gentlemen hot dog.
Dunk it in gin, then eat it. You'll never see that coming.
Dunk it in gin, you just maybe gag.
There used to be a TV show on called Enlisted that I really enjoyed with Keith David, and he wasn't even the main character. That's just what I remember. But this lady brings shots to the table, and everyone chugs shots, and then they're like, gin! And she's like, no one sees that coming.
This is a total aside from an article I read like 8 years ago, but gin... very, very British, right? It came to Britain from another monarchy, and I can't remember where, but the crux of the story is it got there Britain, and no one knew how to drink it. So they just had gin parlors, and people were just drinking glasses of gin because they didn't know. They're just like, I guess we're drinking gin now because that's what the king drinks, and it's just a cup full of gin. I know, it sounds so horrible.
My wife Megan and I, we were in London, and we had rhubarb gin. Oh man, it was one of the best gins I've ever had. I just like Hendrick's with cucumber. I'm simple with my gin. Mm-hmm. I go for that. Yeah. I love me some Hendrick's when I do that, when I'm not having whiskey. But hey, okay, so we're doing League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And I just want to say, it was sort of fate that we also covered Hollow Man, if you think about it. Because this ties in with our whole new Universal series. Was that on? Because we've never brought it up. We should start adding it into the rankings.
We should, yeah. We like started off doing Universal, and then we added this at the last second because it, like, we got how do I put this? Thematically, at least stylistically, it fits in with all our quote unquote new metal, Universal stuff. Yeah. And surprisingly, this thing has gotten a lot of love on my Instagram. People were commenting on the post that I did a few days ago after I watched this and reviewed it. Like, I was shocked by the amount of action happening.
So we've had to delay this a little bit, and we purposely scheduled this probably like a month and a half in advance because on the Blu-ray there's two commentaries, there's a lot of extras. I want to do some research on it just to have enough time. I listened to both commentaries. Mm-hmm. I did a ton of behind-the-scenes research about how Sean Connery and director Stephen Norrington almost came to blows, and how Sean Connery hated how time-consuming Stephen Norrington would spend on, say, an elephant gun. And even aside from the floods, destroying millions of dollars of sets, pushing the schedule, really messing everything up, Connery, an executive producer, made $15 million for it. Comes from another school, I think, of just kind of shoot it quick. You know, Michael Caine, Terrence Stamp, they're 1-2 takes and out of there. With Connery, he turned down Matrix, he turned down Lord of the Rings, and he'd been on huge movies before, but these are so visual effects heavy, and I've worked on visual effects movies, so I know how long each setup takes. I could see that annoying him. But I started looking into Stephen Norrington's backstory. And so this was a guy who did makeup, and he did visual effects, and he did special effects. Now, this guy did the makeup for the Grand High Witch and the Witches. He worked on Gremlins. Oh. He worked on Aliens. This guy, I mean, he did Alien 3. This dude had been on the creme de la creme of movies. I mean, Gray Stroke, all of that. What you have to realize, though, is that when you do special effects, right? When you do makeup, it's time consuming and it's very specific. It's very detail oriented. Now, I think that works when you are a makeup department or you're an indie film. But when you're helming a $95 million tentpole and you're a director who, I mean, when you did that Grand High Witch makeup, you are sitting there for hours, this micro managing this thing, the glue, the prosthetics. So when I read these behind the scenes reports and people were complaining about how everything moves at a slog and how everything moves slow, I understand where Norrington is coming from. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I do think when they had the delay on this film, that they lost several weeks. They couldn't get that back. They had a rush production schedule. I think a lot was left on the table of this film, but I also think I can understand Norrington and everything that Connery was annoyed about. Also, David Goyer said some funny things about how when Norrington met him before they directed Blade, Norrington just insulted him about his tattoos and said his piercings were better, and David Goyer's like, yeah, that's Norrington. So he's this brash guy, strong-willed guy. He will fistfight Sean Connery, but he'll also spend an hour and a half looking at an elephant gun, to the detriment maybe to the movie or not. And I loved hearing what the costume designer had to say in the commentary for this movie. I loved her attention to detail, but I think his attention to detail came at the expense of a lot of the character moments in this movie. And so when people look at this movie, and it has a 17% Rotten Tomato thing, Alan Moore's disavowed it. A lot of people aren't really fans of it. I could see how it got lost in the minutia, and then the characters got lost. And Connery, the star, the executive producer, is not too into it. There's a lot of problems on set. There's delays, and this is what you get. Now, you and I were talking, and I know I'm talking a lot, but this is a fine popcorn movie, man. I watched this, totally fine popcorn movie. You watch it, it's over. It goes by quick. There's some neat moments. There's some really neat special effects. But I think that's how this movie happened. That's my theory about this. So I've been thinking about this. I want to see what you think about that.
Yeah. So I think I agree with.
I'm just glad you didn't say. I'm just glad you didn't say no.
No. Yeah, Mark. No. And here's actually. So I think I agree with you. So he is very much into special effects. So when I looked him up, I was like, oh, he's only done like 5 or 6 movies. The major one being Blade. And the first one he did was Death Machine. And I watched that for this movie. And it is wall-to-wall action. Doesn't make any sense. Kind of boring. But it has really interesting special effects. And I feel like that's what got him Blade, which then got him League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. In terms of, why I think this movie is a little bit derided, or I guess the thing that I wanted to talk about was I feel like the studio latched onto the idea really quickly, even before Alan Moore had written the comics. Like they bought the treatment and they just went hog on it, went ham.
We need an American.
They were just like trying to push it through, and it doesn't quite. It just doesn't follow the first volume. Not that a movie has to, but it feels like they just weren't ready to produce this, right? It feels like they had this great idea, get it out there as soon as possible, capitalize off of X-Men, have another superhero movie, and it fell flat on its face.
And they just rushed it. There were 20 different scripts that they had written. They brought in someone to fine-tune it. They changed it to Nina was the lead, Nina Harker, which is awesome. I love this idea. Quartermain was addicted to heroin. But Shane West said this, if this movie was made according to the graphic novel, it would have made $7 million, which I had a good laugh about, and I want to see what you think about that. But yeah, I think, like you said, they had this great idea, but then they sort of just really homogenized it into nothingness, I would say. A popcorn movie.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that back up, because in reviewing this, I had to really think hard about how I was going to talk about it. And what it came down to was this is just an action movie. There's not really a theme to it. There's some cool parts to it. And then it completely disappeared from my mind. Prepping for this movie, this podcast, I had to flip through the movie again and read the synopsis just to refresh myself. And I had seen it just a few days ago. There's just not a lot there.
Mm-mm.
And that doesn't make it bad. I enjoyed myself for 2 hours, but I didn't walk away with any strong feeling towards it one way or the other.
Yeah, this movie, I mean, you never get to spend enough time with any of the characters to care about them dying or fighting or being in peril. And the villain of this film is a guy who fails constantly. He always runs away from people. So you just don't like him. And then they end up, our heroes get duped into giving away their DNA so that super soldiers can be made and sold to governments. It's
a weird plot.
Yeah, but okay, I guess aside from that, because I really don't want to dunk on this movie because I enjoyed it. But I think what makes me almost like this movie is we sort of understand it, because Connery took this because he wanted a tentpole. The studio rushes into production, and it makes sense, man. This is a cool plot, and it's a good idea, and you could spawn it into spin-offs and do different things. But yeah, I don't know, but they also had some of the best talent too. So I mean, Norrington was coming off a Blade. Everyone, that movie was excellently done. I mean, like I was talking about Jacqueline West, the costume designer. She's David Fincher, Terrence Malick's costume designer. Like that's pretty huge, man. She did The Revenant, which is nuts. So you have these, I don't know, you have a lot of money. You have, I don't know, but then I guess they went to Bulgaria. All their sets got flooded, which is, didn't they say $10 million in sets were wrecked?
Yeah. It was a lot happening all at once at this film
But just imagine all your $10 million in sets get destroyed. That means your entire schedule is changed. So sets that were supposed to be built, what do you think? Sets that were supposed to be built 2 months away they had to go move to immediately. So there is like the library fight. There's a lot of empty space on that. There's just, I don't know. It's interesting what happened to this movie. And at least, I mean, despite all the problems, there's a narrative to it, I would say, even though it made Norrington and Sean Connery quit making movies.
Yeah. I think Norrington's been attached to stuff, but he hasn't made anything really since this. And then clearly Sean Connery hasn't done any live action. I think he's done some voiceover work.
This lady did The New World. Jacqueline West. That's one of my all-time favorite movies. Did you listen to her commentary at all?
Oh no. So I listened to the producer's commentary.
Can I tell you about some of it? Okay, sorry to interrupt you, man. She is so cool. So she was talking about how Connery, she had worked with him before on Rising Sun. And she knew that he is big and fearless, but he sweats a lot on set. So when you see him, a lot of his clothes are soft cotton because he gets warm on set. So when you see him, he's very layered, lightly and softly. All the belts in this movie were handmade, right? All the hats in Italy, the hats that people wear, handmade. She came up with Dorian Gray's outfit, and they wanted to make him look like a gangster, so they gave him like a pin suit. Even though at the time that didn't exist. They just, like, the actor in this who plays Nemo, he was so popular in India that one of the actors who, like, a designer who loved him so much, Nasiruddin Shah, he's so big that this guy volunteered to make, like, all of his wardrobe, like, for cheap and fast. And, I don't know, I just loved hearing her talk about it. And also, Norrington didn't come back for the reshoots on this movie. And she liked, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they did reshoots at the end. And all three of the people on the commentary I listened to, they all had nothing but nice things to say about Norrington. They said he's a bit of a maniac, but they didn't pick sides. They didn't, maybe NDA. But she said that when they went back for reshoots, Norrington didn't do it. And she called him to ask his blessing about certain costumes. She's like, I know this, you're not here anymore, but I'm going to send you pictures of the outfits because this is your movie. So you have this woman who is one of the best in the business going out of her way to call the director who wasn't on the movie out of respect, shows that he wasn't a total maniac, if that makes sense. And also, she had a story about how she found a oil can at a pawn shop, like an antique store. She brought it back, sat it next to Sean Connery. Her assistant tried to open it up. They brought it to special effects, and it was a grenade. And the bomb unit had to come and detonate it outside of the set. It was a live grenade. So a live grenade was set next to Connery. An assistant tried to open it. This makes me laugh that they brought it live. But yeah. I love this. Like, all this stuff that they talked about, these guys in this movie who did this one guy got brought in late and he had to manage 18 VFX companies to get this movie done. These people didn't have enough money. They had to utilize all these matte paintings. They wanted everything in the shot, everything in frame. So if you watch this movie, there's so many matte paintings. There's a lot of just like what's real, what's not. They wanted everything in camera. But once again, man, that attention to detail and the flooding, I think, kept from the characters, I would have to say. Like, it seems like the attention went to everything else but creating characters that mattered when they died.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because this film does look really good. The costuming does look really good. There's some, frankly, weird CGI moments in it. Particularly, there's a scene at the end where they, I guess, blue screened, maybe green screened a guy to hit Shane West. Oh my God, Tom Sawyer. That was absolutely bizarre. It looked horrible. But the costuming, the clothes look superb. And I completely agree with that.
You hear her talking about every little piece of fabric that she ordered from Italy, Japan, Hong Kong. I mean, it's pretty cool how they talked about it. And also, what do you think about the look of, Jekyll and Hyde, or Henry Jekyll, Edward Hyde? He was basically so his muscles didn't move when he's on camera, and the guy kind of lamented that a little bit, but they also don't kind of pull. They also look good, I would say, on him. What do you think about his practical effects, special effects on Jason Fleming?
I think I like them because I listened in the producer's commentary. They talked about why they went practical, and they went practical so they purposely didn't look like the Hulk movie that was coming out, and they also didn't have the budget, so they were like, this is how it's going to be. It's going to look different this way so we don't get compared to this other movie. And I think I really, really like that choice. Going back to your comment about characters, like really the only character that I had a strong connection to was Nina Harker and her story with Dorian Gray, because I knew that was going to lead up to some awesome fight. And frankly, I think
the bedroom fight. That was cool. I felt bad for Peta Wilson, man. Like, they're like, I didn't want her at first. We had Monica Bellucci, but she said no. So we're stuck with Peta Wilson. And then she's on the boat, and then she has Jekyll hitting on her. And then she has, Tom Sawyer hitting on her. And then she has Dorian Gray hitting on her. And then I'm saying for the first half hour, Sean Connery's just like, "Yeah, lady, I've already buried 2 wives, and I just don't want to bury another. What are you doing here? Are you his wife?" Like, you're Connery, man. Like, they make him so likable. So if you're gonna, that's another thing about his character. He didn't want to be all bad and all good. So when he comes across as super sexist, you're like, I don't know. He was just really, and we're also looking at the times, the 1900. He's a man's man who goes and hunt and murders, animals that aren't endangered yet. But I didn't enjoy that. He was just dunking on her for the first half hour.
Yeah, that's very on point for the comic. Like Quartermain in the books is sexist. I mean, basically every character in the book is sexist, and I think that's the joke in the comic. At least the first volume is that the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is led by a woman.
Got it. And listen, it is 1900. These are big talents. But I have a question. In the movie, they seem much more likable than in the comics, from what I've read.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about the comics, and I'll get to that question. So just for your audience, I read the first volume. Literally, I got done 10 minutes before this podcast started, so still fresh in my mind. Most of the characters in the comics are unlikable. I actually really dislike it, and I'm shocked that it was made into a movie. But again, like we covered earlier, it was sold, and then they rushed it to production, so like they didn't get to see it, like how it would do in the real world. But yeah, like Rodney Skinner, who's the visual man is horrible in the comics. Absolutely, like a degenerate, like almost put me off on issue 1. I was like, I do not want to read this because there are, trigger warning, multiple rape scenes in the first 2 issues. Yeah, it's really, really a lot. But I would say that Nina's character is significantly more interesting, like 100% more interesting in the comic books.
Does she look like Winona Ryder?
A little bit.
Nice.
Yeah. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde's character is significantly more interesting. His is probably the closest to the comic. The movie's the closest to the comic of the characters, because Alan Quartermain in the comic is addicted to opium when you first meet him. And I guess you mentioned this, but we should just get out of the way. Like, the comic really centers on Mina gathering this team to thwart this threat. So she is sort of the central character, and these other characters float around. Dorian Gray isn't in the comic, at least the part I ever read, and neither is Tom Sawyer.
So this movie, okay, and this is when things get me, and this is why Hollow Man gets me, where I love it when movies are either all in or they don't go for it. I don't like it when it's a half and half, because then it's such a jarring difference between them, if that makes sense. So that movie, I Saw the Devil, Korean film that destroyed my life, and I think it's amazing. That movie goes for the brutality and the meanness, and it almost transcends, I guess, to a certain extent. And so that's why I dig that. But then there's also PG rated movies that are just nice. You can just watch them and they're nice. So this movie, you have a bunch of these sexist characters, but then they're also mentors and nice guys. And you're kind of thinking, like, this is a weird... Does that make sense? And I'm not saying just change the past.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Quartermain probably would have done that, right? He would have been that way. But it's just such a half and half between him that you're like, I just don't like you. He's not coming across as a flawed opium addict who is in despair over his two wives. He's just kind of a jerk.
He's kind of a jerk who's also attracted to her, and that's made clear in the comic, but not in the really not in.
They should have added that in the movie. Just
yeah. It's just, there's a lot going on that I just like, this is so much, and I'm just going to watch stuff explode, but I don't really care much for what's going on with the people.
Yeah, listen, and as we said, this movie does have an audience. I mean, this has 5.8 on IMDb, which isn't bad. It's not bad.
Oh, no.
And if you just put this on and background watch it, I think it's totally fine. And knowing what we know now, I understand a lot more of the production troubles, so I kind of understand the movie a little bit more and what they were going for. But I guess at the end of the day, I just like the execution of it more than or the idea of it more than the execution.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that this opens up a really interesting conversation for us to have. So one of the things that my followers on Instagram talked about, and I really wasn't involved in this conversation, I was just reading it, was that it didn't match the comic, and that's why people think it didn't do well. I always think that concept is a little bit strange because I immediately diverge the two. Like, if a comic book or even a regular book is made into a movie, they're like parallel stories. Like, they don't touch. Like, I don't need to read the comic book to understand the story. And in fact, if I think you have to read the comic book to understand the movie's a failure.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. So that was like but that was there's a major point in the books, or my followers. They're just saying it should have followed the comics. It should have followed the comics. But my thing is, like, I've already read the comics. Like I don't want to see the same story again. Like, I would prefer it to be a little bit different.
And follow his Instagram, by the way. It's loaded with amazing stuff. He did a Jason Voorhees gag the other day that was pure gold.
I have one coming out tomorrow. That is Tom Cruise versus Tommy Wiseau.
And also one more thing. It's just so I think I've shared this if I've shared this on the podcast, just stop me and we'll tell you to go back to an episode to listen to it. But I managed Comic-Cons for years, and so I spent a lot of time around comic fans. And what I would ask people is, when they would complain about Superman, Batman, that's not my Superman, that's not my Batman. It's like, well, how many variations of Batman are there? How many variations of Superman are there? How many variations of Wolverine are there? Look at this movie as another graphic novel, as a death in a family, as just another chapter to add to the character. Because there's no way, with 7,000 different variations of Batman, you can't appease every fan with your Batman. And so with this movie, like everything you just told me, this wouldn't be, like Shane West said, this would be a $7 million movie. This wouldn't make much money if you had Rodney Skinner raping 3 women in the first 20 minutes. Like, you would have to go super Blade, super The Crow, I think, to make this work. But if you look at those budgets of those movies, they're not $100 million. So you can't do that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And even Deadpool was $35 million. It wasn't even close to $100 million. So it's just the context of it. It's not going to be your baby. It's going to be a different baby. Can I ask you a really random question? I want to see what you think about this and tell me if I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I'm a huge Paul W. Anderson fan. And I was thinking about video game adaptations. And a lot of video game adaptations are not good, right? Objectively, subjectively, they're not good. But do you think video game fans don't like a lot of video game adaptations because they don't have control over it? They can't control it with their hands. They can't control it. Does that make sense? Video games, it's in your hands.
Yes. Yeah.
It's yours.
Yes. it's linear, I would say. It's mostly linear. Because they have one story to tell and there might be slightly different endings. Yeah. But yeah, that's really hard. It's a really interesting concept. I would say maybe not. I just think they're not as vocal as comic book nerds. Because for me, nerds. I mean, I'm a comic book nerd. I mean, I wrote my thesis on Superman. Like, let's be honest here. I know I've fallen out of it in the last, 5 years because it's been exhausting. I'll be honest with you about that. Just absolutely exhausting the amount of negativity in the space.
It's been created. It's been allowed.
But what I was trying to get to was that it feels like in the comic community, they're very loud, very vocal, and they're trying to protect something that used to make them unique and they own the space. And now it's crossed over to mainstream media, mainstream popularity, and they're trying to control the narrative and they can't.
This isn't in the basement. Mm-hmm. This isn't Mallrats anymore with Bodhi in the basement.
No, not at all.
And he's cool, but that was such an interesting thing in 95, just seeing a cool comic book reader, because that's not what you associate. The Simpsons, right? The Simpsons comic book. Like, that's what you associated with comic people. And I think they were very defensive about that. You nailed it. You said it much more eloquently than I ever could. But nowadays it's mainstream.
Yeah.
So you just have to roll with it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I remember being made fun of for reading Spawn in grade school and having comic books and collecting comic book cards and all that stuff. So I understand that wanting to protect something that you love, but just because like something's being remade or redone doesn't eliminate the thing you loved originally. This is sort of my thinking on retakes, right? Or remakes. It's like, okay, so they're doing a remake of what's I think
they're remaking the Nicole Kidman movie, The Others.
The Others, yeah. Others is great, but just because they remake The Others doesn't remove the other one, right? You can still go back and watch that one. You can ignore the remake that comes out. Maybe honestly the remake's not for you. Maybe it's for a younger generation who wants to see that story with their generation and their actors and slight different takes on it. This feels like a tangent we're going down.
Crazy, man? So, all right, let's say in 1990, all right, so in 2000, right? I was 18 years old, and I kind of looked at maybe movies released in 1980 as being older. So now it's 2020, and movies back in 2000 might seem older. So remakes have always happened, so just do it. Like, just make sure it complements the movie as opposed to ripping it off, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and there's probably a pretty good chance that this is going to be remade if in the next 5 to 6 years. Like, this feels like we're in a comic book world. This is a comic book-ish movie or superhero-ish movie, and it could get picked up. I'd be very surprised if it didn't get picked up.
The concept. You walk into Universal, right? David, you just directed a movie called Hacksaw Debbie. It starred Sandra Bullock and Benjamin Bratt. They were so good in Demolition Man. You directed it, and it became a hit, right? We're talking $100 million back in 96. And you walk in with League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, you're going to get it. Like, it's a good idea. It's if you have some, like, so it's kind of a bummer that this, I don't know, whenever I think about this movie, I have a question for you. How many movies are better in your head than they are watching? So there's movies when you watch them and you're like, but then you think about it later and you're like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, I have 2 movies that we could do this with. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and Van Helsing. They're both better in my head than they are in real life.
Yeah.
And I have an actual one. I haven't had those. So those are examples. But a movie that I have not stopped thinking about since it came out, and this is not an exaggeration, is a movie called Assassination Nation.
Oh yeah, I watched that movie.
I remember watching it and going, I don't know if I get this. Is this okay? But it has stuck with me the entire time, and I'm pretty sure it's a really good movie that I just didn't get.
I felt like it took about 3 hours to finish, just because it's so ADD, I guess.
It had a lot to say, had a lot of themes that I was like, maybe I'm not the target audience with that.
No, that's funny you said that. And I just want to clarify something. When we compare The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and Van Helsing's the better movie. Correct? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%.
And they both feature Richard Roxburgh. Let's do something. I want to have. Right, so what are you gonna say?
I was going to say they're like kissing cousins. These movies, their aesthetic is similar. Their thought process is similar. They're all trying to build like a big, big world that I mean, it feels like they were trying to come off the Matrix, like the Matrix mixed with X-Men. Like, these are what these all feel like.
I just think Van Helsing is told by a director in control, and The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is not.
Yeah. So I have a question that seems to permeate this movie is, did Americans get this? Like, was the studio correct in adding Tom Sawyer?
No, because what kids know Tom Sawyer? I don't even think Tom.
I think a lot of kids know Tom
I don't think
Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer's allowed in school. Is it? Because of maybe in 2003 it was. I'm pretty sure that book isn't in school right now. When I was in 03, I never read it. My high school, I don't know. I don't think we covered that. So, I mean, Tom Sawyer, okay, Tom and Huck with Jonathan Taylor Thomas, right? I think most kids would understand it with the fence painting and stuff like that. But I just don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's new. Because, dude, you have an invisible man. You have a vampire. You have Dr. Jekyll, a huge Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You have a submarine that can fit through Venice. I've been to Venice. You can't do that. It's another world, though. So I'm not gonna hate on that for it. But you have the Invisible Man. You have all these literary classics that people probably grew up with. That's there, right? That's what it is. And also, this is they were really aiming for a teenage crowd, but they had Sean Connery in the lead.
Yeah. That was a weird decision. I mean, I didn't know who Alan Quartermain was until I looked him up after starting this movie. I literally paused the film and was like, who is this guy? And I read his Wikipedia page.
I have to say, though, the best parts of this movie, I love the beginning with the rocket launcher, Zeppelin exploding and walk away. I mean, that's neat. The tank coming out of the building with the overmatched cops makes sense to me. That makes sense.
This is a great conversation.
They stand in front of train a tank and get smushed for no reason because they're overmatched. But I do think the fight in Africa with a couple of the visual gags are funny. Like, I love when the guy gets shot on his breastplate, does a spin and runs into a wall. I love when Quartermain smushes that china cabinet or whatever table over the guy and he can't move his arms. There's some great gags in there, and Connery's in full-on Bond mode with, "Oh, you're stuck there." You know, just one-liners. I don't think he said that line. That was the high point for me, and then it went all downhill.
Yeah. So my thinking about Tom Sawyer, and then I'll get to that scene because I do want to talk about it, is that I think from a business perspective, it makes 100% sense. Maybe do that again. It makes sense
of the
100%.
60% of the time?
Yes. That was a hard time there. But my reasoning behind it is, like, I think Tom Sawyer is very well known. Like, that's a very well known literary character. Like, I know that I read stuff about Tom Sawyer in junior high, if not before that. Definitely I had to know about him in high school. But from a business perspective, it's like, bring in the teens with a young Scott Townsend. Is it Scott Townsend? I hope it's Scott Townsend.
Oh, it's Stuart Townsend from Queen of the Damned.
Stuart Townsend. Yeah, there you go. That's right. Oh my God, that movie. That's not a negative or bad. It's just I remember it being ridiculous.
That's another one my wife Megan loves that she watches over and over and over.
But my thinking is from a business perspective, I think it makes sense because you want the American audience, and there's no Americans in this very, very British film, right? A film with British characters. For me, the most well-known one isn't actually Invisible Man or Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's I know Mina. I knew Mina immediately. But everyone else, I was like, are they popular enough? I don't know.
I love Guy Ritchie movies, so I knew Jason Fleming.
Okay.
That's why I knew him, but that was about it.
Okay. So to go back to your point about beginning of the film, that scene is excellent. It is 100% the best part. The two action scenes back to back, robbing the bank, Sean Connery being awesome old man Sean Connery. I love those scenes. Do you want to do your 5 favorite parts of this film?
Okay, we can do that.
5. Yeah, and then I can go first if you want to take a second to figure it out. I can go through all 5 and then come back to you, or we can go back and forth.
So we're starting with 5 and working our way to 1.
Yes.
Okay, I'll let you go first.
Okay, so I'm going to go with an honorable mention, actually, and that is the metal robot men.
Yeah.
They're so dumb because
just run away.
If you're shooting fire, wouldn't the metal get hot? But I still love it because it's so dumb.
You get to hear about the creation of it in the commentary. The costume designer was tasked with figuring that out. She had never done it before. And since she's so awesome, just seriously, she's so cool. She went and figured it out on her own. She's badass. She's Terrence Malick's lady. Oh man, I don't know. Sorry.
Okay, so my actual 5 is a gag at the beginning of the film when Sean Connery takes his glasses out to shoot the guy in the side who's running away at 600 yards. Gag. I don't know. But Yeah, it's a great, great gag, and it encapsulates his whole character because he rolls his eyes and he's like, I'm getting old. Gotta put my glasses on to do this amazing thing.
Love that part.
You want me to run through
so
all,
I can do my
all
five. So it's just
Okay.
the rocket launcher walk away. I mean, he shoots a
it's good.
rocket launcher at these Zeppelins. They blow up, and he slowly walks away from them, while a bunch of scientists are scurrying underneath, ready to die, just scared out of their minds. But I love a good rocket launcher walk away. And why is there a cable attached to the...
That's the question I had. I don't know either. Like, I mean, in my head, I was like, is this a harpoon? Like, I have no idea why
that
there's
was
a
weird.
cable.
That's the one thing. That's why it's not higher.
that's that's the thing we're going to really die on. Okay, send the director a message. Why was there a cable onto your rocket? 17-year-old movie. Okay, my number 4 is not about the movie, but about sort of a concept. And this is Connery's last live action movie, and he died in it. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, he did get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
the
not.
reshoots.
Or he definitely got killed. Yeah, he definitely got killed. But you don't know if dead or not. Or can really be resurrected.
That was so weird.
Yeah. I mean, there was in the producers' commentary, they talked about how there were studio execs pushing for his hand to come out and grab the gun. I think it was a right choice not to do that.
Yeah, that's like Evil Dead. He's gonna come back.
Yeah, I guess he would. I mean, the whole thing is like everyone has a special ability, I guess, except Tom Sawyer and Quartermain. Like Quartermain's like, Africa won't let me die, which is like a weird thing. They were definitely leading into superheroes way harder than they do in the comic.
All right, so my 4th one is when Mina finally kills somebody, so we could just get rid of all the, who's this lady going with us? Like, she just lights that dude up, and everyone's like, oh, okay, we're cool. Like, no more of this. We're fine.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I don't know, she's cool, man. Like, she was fine. Like, I wish she would have had more to do. So I'm gonna say that's my number 4.
Okay, my number 3 is just the Nautilus.
Oh yeah, thing's awesome.
I love that ship. It's like. So I have an ongoing, how do I put this, stance on cruises. I refuse to go on a cruise. I think they look miserable. They sound miserable. But the Nautilus makes me want to change my mind.
That thing's sweet. You can skeet shoot, and I mean, there's so much room in it, and it fits in Venice.
It's huge. It's huge.
It shrinks, and it has solar panels, which I love. All right, so we're down to number 3. All right, so number 3. What am I gonna say? Number 3. Let's see. I guess it's the first punch that Connery throws. This guy with a knife runs at him, and he just punches him once, and the guy falls. And it just...
That's a really good punch.
It was a good movie punch. It felt very Indiana Jones, and it once again, it just set me off to really enjoy this movie. And so I'm going to say that.
Okay. My number 2 is the Mina versus Dorian Gray fight. I thought it was very, very well done. You have two creatures who can't die just going at each other. I like the way that Stuart Townsend portrayed Dorian Gray in this film. I thought it was he was really, really good.
Gangster tux.
Yeah. That whenever he was on the screen, like I just immediately watched him. And I don't know what was going on there, but he drew my attention every single time.
So my number 2 is, I'm going to piggyback off your thing with Dorian Gray, is where Dorian just gets an entire, like, a barrage of bullets shot right into him. I mean, that's what I wanted from my League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He gets 30 bullets slugged into him. They spit back out. He's fine. That's what I wanted more of. I wanted more of, like, Nina turning into bats and murdering people. I wanted more of that, and we didn't get it. But yeah, that's my number 2.
That's a really good scene. The question I have is when he gets shot with the slugs, it turns into dust. In my headcanon, this is more of a statement, I imagine that was flaking paint.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah, and I was like, maybe this is not what it's supposed to be, but in my head it is. Awesome.
Oh, I like that. No, I mean, it's fun, right? I don't know. I'm happy with that. It seems like a good... Yeah. That's my number 2.
My number 1 is just Captain Nemo. Just Captain Nemo. I love Captain Nemo. I think he is awesome in everything he does on the screen. His fighting's really cool. The character is really cool. Man, Captain Nemo can do anything.
I mean, he can pilot the canals of Venice.
Yeah, and kick ass. Those martial arts like choreography was good. It's very good.
So in the beginning, he wants to steal a map of Venice so he can blow it up, but he has rocket launchers and missiles. He doesn't, does he need that to blow everything up? Am I crazy or no?
I'm trying to think this through. So he was stealing. All right, let's walk through this plot again, just so I understand it. They were stealing a map of Venice in order to blow up Venice. However, it was all a smokescreen to get Dorian Gray to steal their powers.
Yes.
So it didn't really matter that what he was trying to do, if he was trying to blow up Venice or not.
Because they had his painting.
Yes. It was basically just like, sure, we're going to blow up Venice, whatever. That wasn't the point. The point was to get them all in one location.
Yep, that was it.
Okay. That's weird.
Weird plot. Am I into my favorite?
Yeah.
This one's a little weird, but I also want to say Tony Curran, he's in this movie, and then he was also in Blade 2 as Priest, right? Vampire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also, he's in 13th Warrior, which is one of my favorite movies. We're going to be doing a series. In Underworld Evolution, he's Mark.
What?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. So a lot of Invisible Man, Vampire, Viking, another vampire. We're going to be talking about some Tony Curran coming up. I like it.
Man, that's awesome.
But my favorite one is, it's silly and it makes me laugh, but when he gets caught on fire and you see him running away going, he just runs away sillily. And very silly. And just the sight of it made me laugh. And then he dies and you're supposed to care. But I love seeing an Invisible Man on fire. It just made me laugh. So that's it.
Okay. I have a couple games I want to play with you, Mark.
So how about this? Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll do some games. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And which one are you now, Dr. David or Mr. Cross?
I'm Dr. David. That's a crazy voice.
Wait, isn't Dr. David the normal one?
Oh! You found out my secret. I'm always angry.
So what are these games you got for me?
Okay. So the first game is, what character would you add to this film? What English literary character would you add to it?
Oh, wow. Which English literary character would... Oh, man. That's a great question, man. All right, so English literary... Well, all right, well, I don't want to add Dracula, because that's too easy.
Yeah, but it's the best, but yeah.
I'm not going to do... Oh, man, that's... Can I have more tea? Or can I have more porridge? I'm not going to add him. Oh, man. You're stumping me here. I got to think about this. Let's... Okay. I'm going to say... Oh, man. Who? Tybalt from Romeo and Juliet.
Ooh.
And it would be played by John Leguizamo.
That's so good. Oh, I love him in that movie.
Perfect. He's perfection. So I just bought the DVD for $2. And it has a commentary, so I'm very excited. But yeah, that's it. And that counts, right?
Okay. Yeah, I think that counts. So I'm just looking up the one that I had, and I need to make sure that I'm not making this up, because I think the character might not be English. Oh, he's not. Well, I'm gonna drop him into another game. Okay, so I was looking up Tarzan because I feel like Tarzan would fit into this, but he's made by an American author, so let's dish that. But the ones that I was thinking of, Alice from Alice in Wonderland, or Alice Through the Looking Glass, like. An adult Alice or a teen Alice would be really cool. She'd probably be really trippy. Yeah, Paddington, that would be amazing. And then I know this is simple, but like, give me a good Frankenstein. I love Frankenstein. That is such a classic movie or classic story that, you can have the monster or you can have the doctor. Like, I don't even care at that point.
Wait. Oh man, the guy who wrote The Hobbit was British.
Tolkien.
So could we add characters of their characters?
I mean. If we're doing a time travel one, we can do whatever we want. You can add Bond.
No, I'm sticking with John Leguizamo.
Okay. John Leguizamo was great in that role. Yeah.
Wait. Okay. So in Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, if we're doing that, I'd add Lena Headey's character. I forget her name, but she has an eye patch and she kills zombies. So are we still sticking with this?
I mean, it's moving far out there, but there's no rules, just like Norrington. There's no rules to this.
People are probably... So I'm actually a lit major, and so I should know. She played Lady Catherine de Boer on that movie, and I'm a lit major, so I should know this. But, yeah, I would say her is second.
Okay. You let me know when you were ready to go to the next game, Mark.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. Do you want to do a Sean Connery draft?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay. So before we start this, I have to be honest with your audience. I have not seen a single Sean Connery 007 movie.
Okay, so let's leave out his Bond movies. I've spent a lot of time with Bond on the podcast, so people are tired of hearing about it because I'm obsessed with all the Bond movies, so we can leave those out.
Well, can you just for everyone's general knowledge, but especially me, because again I haven't seen them, what's the one I should watch?
I mean, you got to start out with Dr. No, but From Russia with Love is the best one.
Okay, all right.
So that has
good to know.
The greatest train fight. I mean, you got to watch the first, but yeah, I think start with the first. But I'm telling you, From Russia with Love is beautiful. It's excellent.
Okay,
so good.
I'm gonna let you go first since I sprung this on you.
Okay, so I don't care, man. I'm probably losing here because I'm not picking a certain movie, but I'm gonna say The Rock.
Okay, yeah, that's great. No, that's excellent. That's an excellent choice. I'm gonna make that red in mine because it's also on my list.
And you can go to Movies, Films, and Flicks Facebook and follow the page, and I'll put up this poll. So I'm not quite sure when I'll do it, but it'll come up eventually, so you can be able to vote on it. But make sure to go Movies, Films, and Flicks Facebook to vote on this.
Okay, so I find this very difficult to pick, but I recently watched Highlander. And I absolutely love him. I love him as Ramirez because it's such a strange role. So Ramirez it is.
Oh, that's a great one. That's a really good one. Okay. I'm gonna this is stupid and it's gonna make me lose, but I'm gonna take Zardoz.
Oh man. I have mixed feelings about Zardoz. I think it's an amazing role, but also the film's a little bit disturbing.
It's insane. That's why I had to pick it. You know me, man. I don't like doing the super obvious ones. I like doing weird ones, so that's why I went that.
Okay. I'm gonna also pick a weird one just so I could do the bit. Finding Forrester.
Oh no.
You're the man now, dog.
Oh gosh. Good.
It's the only reason I picked it.
There's some good ones here. Is it okay if I pick a really good one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we leave out Last Crusade? That's just a winner.
It is. It's 100% a winner, and I'm happy to X that out. It's fine.
Is The Hunt for Red October a ringer?
I don't think it's a ringer. No, okay. Not in the same league as Indiana Jones.
I'll take that.
That's a solid pick. That was going to be my next one. So good for you for getting to it a little bit ahead of me. Okay, I have a couple here that I love them all. I guess I'm picking Untouchables. I am picking the Untouchables. Yeah, I think I have to do that.
His Oscar-winning role?
Yeah.
Ooh, he's in Robin and Marion. That's a good one. I had to study that one for a archery article for Rotten Tomatoes.
Of course.
I've looked at so many weird movies. All right, so The Untouchables. That's a good pick. That's a great pick. Okay, so I'm gonna go. He's done so many good movies. Oh man, he was in The Longest Day. This is really tough. But I don't. The Great Train Robbery. I liked In the Name of the Rose, but I dug the book. I'm going to say something stupid, and I'm just going to do it, and it's going to make me lose, right? But I'm going to say Entrapment.
You took my next one, Mark.
Now, you and I think we've worked really hard at. Okay, I don't want to sound weird saying this, but the trailer for that movie, the shot of Catherine Zeta-Jones, I'm convinced that's what made the movie a blockbuster. And I'm not trying to be 100%. Bad. That was all the marketing. Like the poster was that. It wasn't. But it was so 90s, and it just makes me laugh every time I see it because it's just right. It's just it's so that was the entire marketing campaign, and it just makes me laugh every time I think about it because every single trailer had that, and that's what made the movie a blockbuster. So I just think it's funny, so I'm adding that.
I mean, here's the thing about that. Can you remember any other part of that film?
I think they're running.
I can't at all.
Like, yeah, I can't. It just listen. It's cynical and it was a cash grab, and I just think it's the funniest use. Like, it's not funny. It's exploit. Is it exploitive?
I mean, it's hard to say if it's exploitive because it's hard to put yourself in the mindset of Catherine Zeta-Jones, right? Like, if she knew what she was doing with the idea that this was going to sell the movie, then it's probably not exploitive.
Just making
she probably didn't have the choice of the marketing. So the people who did the marketing were definitely counting on it. So maybe it probably is.
It's just so cynical and it makes me laugh. That was the movie in '99, man. That was the marketing. So dumb.
That was good enough. Good enough.
All right.
Okay. My number 4 is Medicine Man. I know that's a weird one, but I really dug it as a kid. I know it's strange that I was watching this as a kid, but I did, and so now I picked it.
Okay, I gotta go a little older. There's so many good movies here. Ooh, The Wind and the Lion. Murder. Oh, you know what? I'll do the original Murder on the Orient Express. Why not? I'll do that one. All right.
So I actually have to go back in and start looking for a movie because we've gone through all the ones that I could think of.
I mean, he's in Marnie.
He's in Marnie, but he's also in First Night in Dragonheart.
Oh, I didn't cover Marnie.
Oh, man. All right. This is so dumb. I'm going to go with Dragonheart because there's nothing like a CGI Sean Connery dragon.
Yeah, it's so... And Dennis Quaid yelling the entire time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a weird movie. I believe there's someone who... Yeah, it's a weird movie, and I believe one of the actors has been crossed, and there was a moment when I first saw someone who had my same last name in a movie, and I was like, maybe I'm related. Definitely not related. But, it's a little kid you thought you could be.
In that movie, there's some people who can play people like from the medieval ages. Quaid, I don't know.
Yeah, no, not really.
Is it bad? Would it kill you if I took Marnie and not Murder on the Orient Express?
No, go ahead. Okay. I'm all about fun with this. It's fine.
Good. Yeah, if you're like, no. All right, Marnie. I'm switching that. So go to Movies, Films, and Flicks Facebook and you can vote on this poll. And also we have a lot of other fun ones as well. We keep it really positive. Everyone's really nice. So I recommend you go check that out.
I have another one. Yeah, then it's just our normal game, our normal one that we usually do.
So we're putting together our own League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, in air quotes, but out of American folk heroes.
Folk heroes, early literature. So frankly, I had a difficult time doing this. So as I did it, I was adding more people because I was like, I can't get 5.
Oh, so okay. So folk heroes from American literature, not just folk heroes.
Yeah, I mean, I have enough to do just folk heroes, but I have folk heroes, and I also have some literary icons from the 19th century. Okay,
so I have a ton of folk heroes, but I don't know if the names aren't that great. You wouldn't want a movie. I have Kiviak from Alaska who fought sea monsters, and he was an eternal wanderer. I have Big Liz from Maryland who was killed by her slave owner, and she came back as a ghost and snapped his neck. Those are cool, but I'm down to do American literature characters. That sounds fun.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think it'd be easier because I ran into the same thing. It's Paul Bunyan, Davy Crockett, John Henry, Johnny Appleseed, Pecos Bill. There you go. We got them all. Not really. There's other ones, but those are the big ones.
I did want to add Billy Bob Thornton as Davy Crockett, but I didn't do it.
Oh, was he Davy Crockett or was he
he was amazing.
Bowie?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I have not seen that movie in a very, very long time.
Oh, man. Can I go first?
Yeah, absolutely.
Patrick Bateman.
Patrick Bateman. Wow. Heavy hitter off the start. Wow.
What do you think?
I think it's crazy. That's great. I mean, yeah, that's amazing. But I'm going to go the complete opposite direction. I'm going with Jo March from Little Women. She's going to be Jo March, Monster Hunter.
Oh man, and she just can it be Saoirse Ronan?
Yes, yeah, that's exactly who I picked.
Oh man, all right, so I love that. Jo March from Little Women, and Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. But it would have to be Bale, of course.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, so we got some good ones here. Okay, I need some time to look this up. All right. So do you want to drop your next one?
I do. And my next one, we're going to have a discussion on it because it's borderline, and I know it's borderline. This is a folklore character, maybe oral tradition, maybe a cryptid. It's definitely American. The Jersey Devil.
What?
Yes, the Jersey Devil. I really was excited about including the Jersey Devil. Do you know anything about the Jersey Devil?
No, can you tell me more?
It's like a tiny bat with big wings and a horse head. And it just flies around and tormented people in clearly Jersey. I believe it was in the Pine Barrens is where it came from. And there's stories going back and back and back. This isn't just last 100 years. It's way farther back than that.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Yeah, I was very excited about that one. I almost did Sasquatch, but I was like, Jersey Devil.
Oh, I love it. All right. Okay. This one's going to be super pretentious, but everyone needs to get over themselves. So I'm going from Infinite Jest, and I'm taking Joelle Van Dyne. So she is Madame Psychosis. And so her face, she's kind of called like the prettiest girl of all time, but she gets her face scarred, so she always has something in front of her face. But when people see her face, they just get so she becomes like hideously and probably deformed, but she wears a veil. But when people see it, people go insane. So like her face, she is so pretty that if people see her, they will be like, she's part of this thing called the entertainment, and it just, yeah, that's mine. Joelle Van Dyne, Madame Psychosis. That's who I'm taking.
Yes. So the 5 people who have read that book will get that.
I read it all the way through.
I know it's your favorite book. It's just
no. My favorite book is Foucault's Pendulum. That's my favorite book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you were a lit major. It makes sense now.
Yeah, and also I'm very stubborn, and also I played tennis, and I worked in the movie industry, and I have like a lot of family issues with like addiction, and that's what all of Infinite Jest is, and I'm very stubborn, as you know, and I don't sleep much. So that's why I read all of Infinite Jest. But imagine that woman. She takes her mask off, and people just go crazy, laughing, and die.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so I think this is another one, and if you want, so we can have a discussion. So I want to pick Natty Bumppo. That is the main character of the Last Mohican series.
Oh.
One of the most famous American literary characters out there. This character shows up in the background of The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He is on a matte painting. So it's like, he's in that world, so we can say no, because he clearly is in that movie. But I wanted to throw it out there to get your thoughts.
Of course. Yeah, you got him.
Okay. Exciting. Very excited for that one.
Okay. Last of Mohican. So I've kind of changed it up here a little bit. So I need to look through. Oh, all right. It was based on a book. So Norman Bates.
That's good. I'm not winning this. Our lists are completely different.
Stupid, right? But it's perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 100%. Perfect for October.
Be a weird character.
Okay, if we're gonna pull out the big guns, I'm gonna pull out Atticus.
Oh, wow. I mean, he could be their lawyer, that's for sure.
He could be the leader.
Oh yeah, and Atticus is a great name for a leader.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right. So I need to figure this out here. Is George R.R. Martin an American?
He is, yeah.
Oh. Okay, so then we need to bring back the Mother of Dragons, Daenerys.
Okay, yeah. This is wild. Yeah. Okay.
The book really did her horrible, or the show did her terribly. So,
I've only read the first 2 books.
I'm taking Daenerys. I'm gonna do that.
Okay. I need to really button down and think very hard about my next pick, because this is it. I feel like I'm behind. I do think you have the great ones here. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with characters that I think are hilarious. I want to pick Babe the Big Blue Ox.
Whoa, that thing would be huge.
Yeah.
Oh man, Babe.
So dumb, but I love it.
All right, Babe the Big Blue Ox. I love that. I can figure this out here. I can do it. I'll edit this gap out if there's a long one.
Katniss Everdeen.
Well, I'm trying to find like something. We're not doing comic books, right?
So I would argue that is a form of literature. I mean, I did argue that in my thing. Okay. I would say it is literature. Yeah. I mean, I think if you want to pick like.
All right, my final pick is Michonne from The Walking Dead. It's a graphic novel. There's a lot of issues, and she's believable, and there's zombies. So she could just walk around with samurai swords and murder zombies and murder other people.
I agree. I think that counts because graphic novels, comic books, illustrated narratives are literature. It's just a different form of it. There's no difference between like a poem, and there's a difference between like a poem and prose and this. So yeah, I think that counts. And when I say that you pick Michonne, is she the most popular character?
Well, she has swords and she carries her zombies around and murders people, and she's cool. So I just want her. She doesn't complain. Like I like her. I want to watch her. She's the one I want to watch in a journey. So that's why I picked her.
Okay. I think that's solid.
All right, so can we keep Joe March? I think that's just too funny to not do.
Yeah, I love it. That's like the one I really want. Like Joe March, put her in there.
All right, so Joe March, we got her.
I dig the Michonne because it's such a unique decision because I hadn't thought about it until you made that pick.
Yeah, she's cool. Well, why not? I like that. All right, so Michonne. Who else are we keeping?
I think a team involving Michonne, American Psycho guy is hilarious.
All right. So
and
we're
Joe
Adam
March.
Bateman.
It's just like, what is going on? It's so crazy.
So we're gonna need a kind of Natty Bumble. Would you say?
Daddy Bumpo.
My bad.
Yeah. I would pick him or Atticus. I mean, I love them both. So like, I'm happy to include them both. But like, do we need a leader? Is what I'm trying to get at. Natty is a marksman, an excellent marksman, and a tracker and hunter. Michonne is also, I believe, a pretty good tracker. If they're going out on missions, who would be more useful?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Yeah, I mean, I love Atticus, but he's not gonna be like.
I don't want Atticus. There's nothing tough about him, right?
But he's a expert marksman.
Oh,
he kills the dog. But if you put him against Natty, I think Natty wins. So I think I talked myself into Natty.
Okay, I like that. Got that. Let me add that. So we have Madame Psychosis, the Jersey Devil, Norman Bates, Atticus Finch, Daenerys, or Babe the Big Blue Ox.
Here's the question: if you pick Daenerys, does she come with the dragons?
Oh, absolutely.
Pick Daenerys. There's like no question. There's like she should have been our number one. We just didn't think about it.
Oh man, so we have a pretty sick squad here.
We do.
Oh man, this is a good. Oh man, I love it. And sorry about all the typing if you hear it. I'm just kind of typing everything in. I know it's not great for a pod here, but no, this is I love our squad. What a squad.
Joe March.
Oh yeah, that one makes me laugh. Hawkeye.
Yeah.
All right, so can we call him Hawkeye?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
So we got Bateman. We have, oh man, I love this, Natty Bumpo, Hawkeye, and then we have Daenerys, Joan, and Joe March from Little Women.
Yeah, and make sure let's make sure people don't think it's Jeremy Renner. It's Hawkeye.
Let me check something real quick. I just want to make sure that George R.R. Martin is American novelist. Perfect. So we're set.
Yeah.
I'm bummed.
Excellent.
I'm bummed about Madame Psychosis not making it, but I like our team much better. I think this is a good squad.
I mean, who would you swap out?
Nobody.
Do you think you would want to yeah, there you go.
It's one of those where I'm bummed out, but I don't know. So, any final thoughts you think about this movie? I
have a final thought about our list.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Natty would hook up with Daenerys, and that would be the entire book. It'd be a will they, won't they thing going on there, because she knows she likes powerful men.
Yeah. Bateman would just annoy her.
Yeah. Joe March would be like Littlefinger.
Oh, I love it. Michonne.
Yeah. Michonne just she does more than carry out orders. She's smart.
She could be a leader.
Well, yeah. I mean, I in the TV show she is a leader, but I haven't got that far in the comic book, so I don't know.
Bateman, no, he would try to, just like the total toxicity of it all. But
yeah, I mean, you need him there to cause trouble. Like, he's the antagonist.
Oh, I love it. I love our gang.
Yeah. So getting back to why we're actually here, we're talking about League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I think I would say that I found this film entertaining but difficult to talk about because there wasn't a lot of theme to it. Like the movie sets itself up as saying we're going to be talking about technology and change, but it doesn't quite do that. They attempt to do that with Sean Connery, but it doesn't really blend through the entire film. That being said, it's a good popcorn flick. If you want to put it on the background, you want to spend 2 hours just watching things like blow up and like weird situations. Yeah, it's fine. Like it's. I'm glad we did it. I'm not going to rush out and watch this 4 more times. I'll probably watch it again in another 10 years.
I'm glad it's in my Blu-ray collection.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it, and for me, I like knowing what happened with this movie. I really do, and I like understanding these movies, and I find the behind-the-scenes story to be very interesting. I like the idea. I understand why it's PG-13, and if it's on the TV, I'll just leave it on the background. Yeah, it's fine.
That's it. I have one question now that you brought this up, and we didn't talk about it. Do you think the remake, which is going to happen, do you think it's going to be R?
Well, what superhero movies are? Oh, okay, so The Boys. They need to make it just Amazon or Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And make it like The Boys.
Okay.
right?
I think that would make more sense because you would get the juxtaposition of Victorian era sensibilities with the violence.
I mean, we've already had Penny Dreadful.
Yeah. Which I like. I'm not gonna make fun of Penny Dreadful.
Eva Green's the best, man. Josh Hartnett.
Yeah.
I love that show. Got a Bond guy in there. Oh my gosh. Frankenstein. Love that show. It's crazy. They have a really good they have Dorian Gray in there as well.
They do, yeah. It feels like a little bit like this, except it's not steampunky.
Yeah, I think they should just make it like a TV show. I don't know how big the movie would be nowadays. I mean, there aren't too many movies like this coming out anymore. There really are not. There aren't, and it would have to. What's up?
I was gonna say the closest there is their team up movies with superheroes. Like, when was the last really big movie like this that came out?
Well, crap, they were trying with the Dark Universe, weren't they?
They were trying. They didn't do very well. Like Mulan was like a big actiony PG-13 one that did, I guess, okay for Disney Plus, but mixed reviews. Better reviews than this, I would say. Even though that movie, I think that movie's almost unwatchable.
What, Mulan?
Yeah, it's not so it's gorgeous. I'll just throw it out the way. It is a gorgeous looking movie, but it makes very little sense and it's very hard to follow.
I mean, I don't know. You just can't do it. You'd have to build up to it. You really would, because this IP isn't that well known. It's popular, but it's not that well known. So I think make a TV show. Have them team up against something. Make it, and then have a revolving cast. Kill off some of them. Bring in more. Like just do that. And that's the TV show I want to watch. That's a TV show I would watch.
Yeah. I mean, the idea that they had this and they use Alan Quartermain instead of Sherlock Holmes is crazy. But you know what I mean? Like, he's a household name.
Yeah.
But there might have been like copyright stuff happening there. Like, who knows?
Yeah. It just, at the end of the day, it had too many, there's too many like people in the kitchen, too many chefs in the kitchen. It got lost in what it was supposed to be. And this is what we have. So it made $100 million with inflation. That's not terrible. Made decent money. At all. And I mean, it definitely didn't make its budget back, but it suffered major issues on set. I mean, it still makes sense. So I don't know if you should applaud that, but I don't know. I'm happy we talked about it. I do not regret any of the time I spent with this movie, and I'm happy we talked about it. That's where I'm at.
So before we go, we are going to continue down our monster movie marathon.
We are.
What are we doing next?
Well, we have Darkman, correct?
We're doing, you and I believe Megan are doing Witches.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're doing The Craft.
Oh, the Craft. Oh, that's coming out before this.
Oh, so we can just cut all that.
Yeah, that's fine. No. Go back and listen to the Craft episode. I have a weird release schedule, everybody.
Yes, but we're doing Darkman, which I think is going to be our final movie before we take in the series that we have been teasing for months now.
Months. Underworld, the entire franchise.
That's 5 movies?
Yes, and I have the Blu-ray box set looking right at me. And it's going to be beautiful.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. I think it's going to be a year of Underworld, basically. A half year of Underworld.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I can't wait. All right, well, thank you for joining me, man.
Thank you. I had a great time.
All right, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for David Cross, make sure to listen to the Award Wieners Movie Review Podcast. You will love it. This is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.